I love labor unions. Now I know that's a very unusual position, but it's the absolute truth. Labor unions make a tremendous contribution to the organization of the working people in all types of manufacturing and other enterprises. They bring law and order, logic and sympathy to the whole system. They are there on the plant floor day to day with a positive attitude for the people, and they also are aware of their concern for the management, because that's the total team that makes the company profitable, which allows for people to have security. It's a very, very simple fundamental principle. And I have served in the middle of that for 43 years. I first must tell you that I started as an engineer. And I was a new engineer in the company when I received an assignment to establish an incentive program in the shipping and warehouse department. That is always where the tough guys are in the enterprise. And I came upon the job fresh out of school, and the union steward walked over to me, looked me straight in the eye, and he said, "How would you like to have your throat cut?" Well, I was born and lived in the street under poverty when I was young, and I learned how to handle situations like that. And I looked them straight in the eye, and I said, "You see all these little scars on my neck? That's where people tried and they didn't make it." He immediately shook my hand, and we became the best of friends. He was testing me to see if I was a typical college boy with a golden spoon in my mouth, or whether I was one of them. And he realized by my response that I knew the groundwork of the unions and knew it well. So therefore, that's how I started my career. And then I started working from an engineer, and I received my master's degree to a licensed professional engineer, where I qualified in civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical, and industrial engineering, which is what you had to do in those days. And then I moved over in education and got a master's in engineering. And then I continued in nights, working in the days as an executive or an engineer, and going to school nights, and I got my PhD in management and psychology from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the #1 technical institute in the country. This was all done by working days and going to school nights, and I might point out that it was on 100% scholarships, because I didn't have that kind of money. However, that is America, and that is what's available in America. And I took advantage of it, and I lived the American dream, because I retired from a major international corporation as international vice president, corporate staff. They paid for my wife to travel with me, and my work took me to 60 countries with all kinds of cultures, all kinds of ethnics, and all kinds of problems. A wonderful, wonderful education for this book, because that's my background. Now let me just tell you a few things about why I love American unions. On running an enterprise, you're there 5 days to 7 days a week. All kinds of internal situations arise that must be taken care of immediately. And who do you do it with? The union steward. These people, if they trust you and have respect for you and feel that they are your equal, they are wonderful people. That's how simple it is. The issue is a matter of values. If you look at the issue, that issue, you come to realize that the working people basically have the same identical values that you do in management. So therefore, I came up with a technique which I labeled common codes of behavior leadership. If you lead the people and exude the values that they love, dignity, courtesy, respect, honesty, decency, all these values must be displayed while you lead the unions. Consequently, the AFL-CIO presented me with a silver trophy that is inscribed with the words, "To a man concerned with human dignity." And I must say to you that that is a proud description of myself, and I know that one of my values is human dignity. And that is what I have displayed, and I have researched for 43 years, and I have perfected many, many aspects of the interaction between unions and management. And as a consequence, unions have only helped me for 43 years, as opposed to feeling belligerent. That's all in the book. And if you're a manager and you want to be successful, read that book. If you're a student just coming out of college and you want to be successful, read that book. Because I only have placed in that book what I have experienced for decades and have been able to prove beyond any shadow of doubt that this content of this book is successful and actually works. So please go on and have a good read.